Hello again, and welcome back to another edition of How Long Can I Bash This One Pokemon Into a Problem Over and Over Until I Win? The show where I take your favorite Pokemon and try to beat the entirety of a Pokemon game with only said creature. You read the title, you know what you're in for. This time around, we're going to be finding out whether or not you can beat Pokemon Black with only a Patrat. As always, the rules are simple. Only Patrat can be used in battle, no items in battle, and most importantly, have fun. This last rule gets broken a few times. We boot up the game, select Patrat as our starter, her name is Patty, and get on with the show. Just like with her predecessors, we try to make sure Patty is well trained against Pokemon that give us attack and speed EVs. It's smooth sailing all the way to the first gym, which in my case ended up being Salon. Since it was pretty early on, I decided to give the battle a go until I felt I could win, which ended up being at level 16. Luckily for us, Salon gifted us a useful TM in the form of Workup, a move which boosts our attack and special attack by one stage. Bada boom, bada bam. Here we are in Green City. Patty bashed our green-haired rival, and we faced off against Lenora. Oh god. I won't lie, out of all my challenges, I was least looking forward to this one since I have zero interest in Patrat, ironically or not. It's weak, doesn't have interesting moves to learn, and has no outstanding factor like Belly Drum. But what Patrat lacks in strength, it makes up for in, well, not much, to be honest. So it's safe to say I entered this challenge knowing it would be a slog, but I wasn't ready for something of this magnitude. In the preparation for this battle, I got rid of Crunch in place of Hyper Fang since the former was going to be pretty useless going forward. Lenora leads with Herdier possessing the Intimidate ability, so already off to a great start. I'd love to say I utilized strong strategy and superior intellect to win this battle, but in reality I just got super lucky at level 29 and managed to squeak out a win at full health. Well, nice. Felt more like Lenora let us win since we probably appeared a bit pathetic, but hey, a win is a win. After scuttling through Pinwheel Forest, we found ourselves in Castelia City, ready to face the next gym leader. However, it seemed like Team Plasma were yet again in our way. A few grunts later, and we stood face to face with the bug boy Berg himself. It wasn't a major challenge, but his Dwebble did put us between a rock and a hard place, due to its partial rock typing. I actually came prepared this time with Super Fang, a move that halved my opponent's HP. Took a bit of luck since both Hyper Fang and Super Fang had subpar accuracy, but at level 31 we finally managed to take down the third gym leader and proceed with our rodent rampage. We make sure to talk to this guy on Route 4 to acquire Dig, one of the few useful moves Patty can learn, before heading straight towards Elisa, our next major opponent. I realized pretty swiftly that in order to win this battle, Patty would need to improve. Primarily, she needed to be faster. So while Past Me throws our Patrat at every nearby wild Pokemon in the area, let me share some fun Patrat facts with you. Did you know that Patrat, despite having rat in its name, is actually based on a chipmunk? They're also able to keep watch in packs for days due to the amount of food they can fit into their cheeks. Wow, how cool! And hey, if you enjoy those super interesting Patrat facts, maybe try liking the video. Thanks. Anyways, Elisa's time had come and Patty was sufficiently trained to the point where her battle was laughably easy. I was fairly surprised that I was still being outsped by her Pokemon despite the training I'd done, and the level advantage I had, but it wasn't a big deal since we won. Electric type Pokemon are just fast, right? Well, what I didn't know is that I still had the Macho Brace equipped from when I was trading, so yeah, I'm kinda stupid. Hey look, it's the city with the funny music and the cowboy gym leader. Clay was, surprise surprise, extremely easy, and while I did have a bit of a scare against his Excadrill, it fell rather quickly to Patty's Dig. Nothing much of note happened until we faced off against Skyla, if you want to call mopping the floor with another gym leader something of note. Patty was performing perfectly, each dig more practiced and prepared than the previous. But before we could make our way to the next gym, we had to cross Twist Mountain, one of my least favorite dungeons in Pokemon. Maybe if every trainer had something besides a Bulldor and some fighting type, I would have had a better time, but my stubbornness reared its ugly face, and I had an altercation, we'll call it, with this trainer in particular. Why do you look back? Dude, I can't beat him. I literally can't beat her. You know what? Let's just do this. She catches me every time. Nope. It's not possible. It's not possible. Yeah, I was beyond relieved when we finally escaped, but there wasn't much time to breathe as Bryson, the next gym leader, was right around the corner. Would he finally prove a threat to our challenge? Not a chance. We traveled up the Dragon Spiral Tower, arriving just too late to stop Team Plasma from summoning Pokemon Zeus before tying up some loose ends around Unova. With our new goal of stopping the bad guys, we headed to Oplucid City to obtain our final gym badge. Oplucid. Oplucid. Did I pronounce that correct? It's actually the first time I've said it out loud. Never mind. Drayden was our opponent, and before we even faced him, the gym trainers proved to be bigger roadblocks than I expected. Despite being this high of a level, Patty could not one-shot their fractures, so I got my ass beat a few times before I decided to level Patty a bit. After this, we relied on workup yet again to boost our stats and carry us to our final gym badge. All that was left was to face the Pokemon League and stop N in his tracks, but before we could head to Victory Road, Sharon chose now to have his main character moment. But I had already trounced him a number of times, so I just had to win this battle real quick and move on. Well, if you've watched my videos before, you already know. Yeah, Sharon, he beat my ass. I don't know what happened or what he's feeding his Pokemon now, but he's way stronger. His Superior is fast and bulky, his Simipour is powerful, his Unfezant. Patty was finally on the receiving end of a loss, but I wouldn't let that stand for long. A few levels later, we were on our way, and luckily, there wouldn't be any more annoyances in our... Oh my god. Yeah, for as much as I adore Generation 5, my love goggles really like to blur out the dungeons. For as tedious as I find Victory Road and Unova, I only got lost twice before making my way forward and into the Pokemon League proper. This is when the real challenge begins. If you watched my Zigzagoon video, link up there by the way, you might see some familiarity in how we're going to tackle the Elite Four. Luckily for us, TMs are infinite in this generation, meaning we can freely switch our movesets whenever we want. However, in this generation, your power point, or PP, does not refresh when learning a new move, meaning I have to carefully consider the amount of PP I have in total, since we didn't have very many ethers and elixirs. Truth be told, I usually like to give these challenges a set of dummy runs where I just rush at the next challenge without too much prep, and well, this is how that ended up going. At level 85, yeah, I know, I'm kinda crazy. I waddled up to Chantel, teaching Patty Shadow Ball over return in preparation for the battle. We luckily dodged a Will-O-Wisp as we set up against Cofagrigus, who had been giving me some troubles up to this point, and against Jellicent, Patty tanked a Surf before winning us the battle. Okay, apparently Patty was better than I thought, but we would surely have to level up sooner or later. Caitlyn was next, and I knew that I needed 2 workups to beat her entire team in one go, but, well... Or it's on a high... I need to high roll for one shot everything. Okay. Honestly, I didn't expect to live the Focus Blast at all, so this is the best case scenario. And, well, 4 returns later, and Caitlyn had been defeated. Yes! Oh my god, 1 workup, 4 returns. The ghoul of a man that was Grimsley was our next challenger, and I figured he would be the easiest, just use workup once and... Oh, Patty. Patty. Oh my god. Okay, close call, but we had the rest of the battle in the bag. Oh my god. Patty, you're a beast. After narrowly avoiding a loss, we managed to take out Grimsley's last Pokemon and push forward. But, wait. Are we really beating the Elite Four at only level 85? Well, Marshall, our toughest challenge yet, was up next, so surely we would need some levels, right? He leads with Throw, a tough Pokemon that I had to set up in front of and risk taking a ton of damage with Circle Throw or lose some speed from Bulldoze, both of which were pretty bad for us. Conkeldurr was strong but taken down easily after a workup. Mainshao came next, and since I knew it would go for Jump Kick, I realized I could use Detect to dodge it. Neat thing about Jump Kick is that if the move misses, the user will take a set amount of recoil damage. Unfortunately, after the first Detect, my chances of the move being successful was only 50%, and since it was my only way out, I had to take the risk, which I was rewarded for. Last but not least was Sock, which you know what they say about big socks. Sturdy. And they're sturdy. Since we couldn't take down Sock in one hit, we just had to put our faith in Patty and see what happened. And lo and behold, she pulled through for us yet again, taking down Marshall and succeeding in beating the Elite Four at only level 85. Suffice to say, I was beyond surprised and proud of Patty for doing this. I was gonna just boost her to level 100 and be done with it, but I'm glad I gave her a chance this time. But, as you know if you've played these games before, the Elite Four is not the end. No, we still had a showdown against N planned, and riding off our victory high, I raced towards the king of Team Plasma, prepared to crown a new queen, a queen whose name was Patty. Once we reached N, we first had to defeat and capture the legendary Pokemon Reshiram. This is required to progress, and doing so will place Reshiram at the front of our party. However, When we challenged end proper, we just threw Pokeballs at Zekrom to waste turns. Patty's time to shine came, and we lucked out by being able to set up our attack to +2 during a Giga Impact recharge turn and a light screen turn. After this point, it was a combination of dig and return against the appropriate Pokemon on N's team until we won. And oh, did we win! Not only did we crush N, but we did so in style without taking a single point of damage, further cementing Patty as a pure being of destruction and power. The day was saved and Team Plasma would be no more, but Ghetsis would not have that. Yet again we were challenged, but after everything that stood in our way, there was no chance we would lose now. Yeah, we lost immediately. Sadly, Ghetsis' lead Cofagrigus was an almost perfect counter to Patty. We were gonna need a bit of luck and planning on our side to win this one. Luckily, losing the Ghetsis does not force us to fight N or Reshiram again, meaning we can plan specifically for this fight. After doing some calculations, I realized that our best moves currently available for this situation, being Dig and Shadow Ball, were not enough to take out Cofagrigus in one go. We could do it after 2 workups, but by that point we would end up poisoned by Toxic, something that would certainly mean we lose the battle. With the Patrat Berry equipped, we could get at best 1 workup off consistently before being hit by Toxic, so we needed a move that could take out Cofagrigus in 1 hit from only +1, but I just didn't think Patrat had anything of the sort. Well, Patty did, once upon a time. A move that I had discredited so long ago that I hadn't even considered it an option up until this exact moment. The move that would almost certainly guarantee us victory. Crunch. After remembering that Patty had once known the move, I backtracked through the game, obtaining a heart scale from this lady, who ironically wanted to see a Pokemon with return, relearned Crunch, and then faced off against Ghetsis, intent on making this battle our best and final one. Victory comes for those who prepare, but despite our preparations, we still needed a few things to go our way in this fight. Patty uses Work Up and takes the Toxic, curing it with the Patrat Berry we equipped. Crunch takes out Cofagrigus in 1 hit. Return hits Hydreigon after Patty dodges a Focus Blast to save her life, but it wasn't enough. Predicting the heal, we go for another return, and with a little more oomph in her, Hydreigon goes down. Bouffalant is next, and similar to its ally, it survives the first return just barely. Patty, though, against the odds, holds on for dear life against the head smash, but the recoil was just too much for Bouffalant to take, and it faints. Seismitoad grants us some relief as we take it down in 1 hit. Digging deep with Dig, Patty decimates Bisharp in 1 go. Only Electros was left. We had 1 last Pokemon to stand in our way, and just like that, we defeated Ghetsis and beat Pokemon Black with only a Patrat at level 86. Oh my god, 86. I don't need no stinking level 100. No stinking good Pokemon. No stinking legendary. All I need is my trusted partner and a dream. And with the glory of victory high on my mind, what challenge could await me next that would truly test my Pokemon and I? After all, if I could beat this one, surely nothing else harder could exist. Right?